Hey guys, what's up? I am Rosie and I have a couple of things I want to talk about. So this morning I logged into YouTube, or just clicked on my YouTube. I'm already logged in, and I saw in my suggestions this YouTuber named PIERRE XO, and he talked about his experiences living in Los Angeles. And he wears makeup and he let his hair grow out long. And because of that, men were attracted to him because he is very, very attractive. He is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And but he's also a beautiful person on the inside. And he talked about how he was groped at a concert, how he was catcalled, and basically just I guess sexualized by men because of his appearance, and it made him uncomfortable and he hated it. But with his hair growing out long and with his makeup on it, he felt more like himself. And that brought me to what I wanted to talk about a little bit. I have a 20-year-old and I have a 17-year-old. And both are biologically female, but one, my 20-year-old, they identify as non-binary, but sometimes present as female. And they are developed. That's all I'll say about that. They are developed. And that tends to draw some men's attention, particularly creepy old guys, and they generally tend to be black men, and they don't understand why creepy old black men are so attracted to them. And one night coming home, they came home like in tears and creeped out to the max because this old black dude, well, his color doesn't matter, but this creepy old guy catcalled them and made them uncomfortable and kind of scared, and they kept looking over their shoulder to make sure that dude was not following them home. And that just scared them. And I feel so sorry for my baby because I cannot escort them to and from work, and I can't protect them all the time. And so what they do is they have this pepper spray on their key ring for protection. And it's really sad that you have to take something like that to work with you to feel safe, but they have to have some kind of way to defend themselves, so they take pepper spray. And when they get harassed like that at work or like out on the street, it seems to get men off that they make them feel uncomfortable catcalling them. They smirk or they laugh because it made them uncomfortable. And I'm wondering, where the hell do men like that, why do they think that it's okay to do stuff like that? It's not okay. It's like, what if your daughter was out on the streets or at work and being harassed by some creepy old asshole and scared by it? Would that make you happy? Would you go out and find the guy and high-five them for making your child uncomfortable and scaring the shit out of them? Because I know that I don't want to high-five those assholes. If I see those jackasses, I want to punch them in the fucking face. And that brings me to some memories that I've had with the experiences. When I was 13 years old, I was walking to the store. I used to walk from my aunt's house to a store that was a few blocks away, turn some corners, walk down some streets, and you're there. And this guy in a Camaro, I guess it was a black Camaro from what I remember, he slowly rolled his window down and stared at me. And then he drove away when he saw that I wasn't like smiling at him or trying to get his attention. He just drove off. And all I could say was, okay. And I went on to the store. At the age of 14, I was walking home from school. I was a freshman in high school. And this guy catcalled me. He whistled at me. And so, I guess they call that a wolf whistle. So I looked around, and then there's this older white guy in a hard hat. He wasn't bad looking from what I could tell. And when my eyes made contact with his, he smiled at me. So I smiled back. And that was the end of our contact. And what went through my mind was, wow, I guess I'm pretty. And back then that was empowering for me, especially since I had been called ugly all my life, and I don't think I'm ugly. I mean, people tell me the opposite, as a matter of fact, but whatever. At that age, I learned to present myself in a more, I guess, visually appealing manner. I would wear tight clothes. I didn't wear anything particularly revealing, but I would wear tight clothes if I wanted that attention, and I would wear baggier clothes if I didn't. If I wanted the attention, tight clothes, more makeup, and more effort put into my hairstyle. If I didn't care for it, no makeup, nothing really special done to my hair, back in a neat ponytail and baggier clothes. That was, I could turn it on and off. And so when I was 18, I was given more freedom by my mom, and I would go out more. And I had on this like micro mini skirt. It was a black micro mini. I don't know why I bought that thing, but it just barely covered my butt. And I was gonna go to the mall like that, and my mom begged me not to go to the mall, because she said if you go to the mall, something is gonna happen to you, especially wearing that. And I said, Mama, I'll be fine. So I took the bus, and I stopped off first where I worked. I worked at a grocery store, and I went to see my friends. And I was gonna go to the mall from there, but something told me not to go. And I guess my mom was praying for me, because I just could not go to the mall. Just something would not let me go. So what I did was I went back to the back area where I didn't feel like I was being watched. And I helped them with the bread pull, because I worked in a deli. I worked in the back area where we did bread and rolls and cinnamon rolls and cookies and cupcakes and cakes and all of that. And I helped them with their work. And when one of them could get a break, they took me home. And when I got home, my mom was relieved, and she was like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Did you go to the mall?" I said, "No." She said, "Well, where did you go?" I said, "I went to work to see my friends, and they brought me home." She said, "Why did you not go to the mall?" And I said, "Because I didn't feel comfortable going to the mall. Something kept telling me not to go, so I just didn't go." She said, "I got on my knees and I prayed for you that you would not go to the mall, because I saw in the spirit that some guys were going to kidnap you, and they were going to rape you and probably kill you." And that really creeped me out. Years later, when I was probably in my 30s, late 20s or early 30s, I had a dream about that night. I dreamt that I was on the bus going to the store, and in the sky, and it was dusk at that time, which is why I knew it was that day. And I saw what I was wearing that night. And I looked over into the sky, and there was an angel looking down on me. Some people won't believe that. They'll call bullshit, but hey, that's my experience. And at the age of 19, some guys were trying to get me to come to their car. And I said no. And when I told them no, they chased me in their car, and I ran to a store. I was going to the store anyway, but they chased me in their car, and I had to wait for 20 minutes to come out. And when I finally got back home, my mom prayed for me then too. And I don't know why our right to say no is being taken away from us, even back then in the 90s. A couple of years ago, this woman got killed for saying no. She was at a club just to have some fun, and this guy kept asking her out, harassing her, and she kept telling him, no, I have a boyfriend, I have a man, and I'm not going to cheat on him. When she was leaving to go home that night, she was shot dead and killed. Shot dead and killed. That is so redundant, but it's true. She was shot dead. And excuse me for my voice, my throat is dry, but we should not have our right to say no taken away from us. If we don't want to go out with you, so what? Go on to someone else, because somebody probably will eventually want you. But if a woman tells you no, why would you kill them? Like, why is that so harmful to your ego, to your fragile ego, that you would shoot someone dead and take away their right to live just because they don't want to go out with your sorry ass? Why would you risk your freedom to kill someone because they would dare say no to your ugly ass? And that's the world we live in today. I don't understand it. I don't get it. And PIERRE XO had the right idea. He left America. He even made a video about that, why he left America. And some people might get offended by it, but there is not one lie in that video. He didn't tell not one lie. And if I had the means to do it, I would get my kids and get my mom, and I would get the hell up out of here. I would probably take them to Korea or to the Czech Republic where he is, or just somewhere else, because where we are now is basically a pile of gold-plated shit. And I can't stand it here anymore, and I'm disgusted by it. Why should my child have to be uncomfortable and scared to go to work because some creepy old dudes are gonna catcall them? Why should we live in a place where if a guy asks us out and we say no, we have to look over our shoulder to make sure they're not gonna stab us or shoot us to death? Why should we live in a society that sexualizes women because they think that we're put here for your viewing or sexual pleasure? It's not right. It's not right. There's no way to justify it, and I'm sick of it. But I guess that's the nation that we live in. And with that, you guys, I'm getting even more pissed off, so I'm gonna sign off here. Thank you guys so much for listening. I love you so very much, and I hope to see you on the next upload. Bye for now.